Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm your teacher Naveed Anjum Naveed with my grammar lessons, and today I brought preposition for you. So let's begin with the definition. Dear students, preposition is not a new topic for you. Even when you were in class 5 or even in your earlier classes, there used to be an activity in your English, in your subject of English, that fill in the blanks using appropriate prepositions. So you recognize the words that are commonly used prepositions. So let's define them formally. Prepositions are used to show relationship of their objects with other words. So what are the objects of prepositions? I've already introduced the concept of object of preposition in my earlier lessons. So simply to give you a recap, a very quick recap, prepositions are always used in combination with nouns or noun equivalents. In the kitchen, on the table, over the wall, along the street, in the glass, into the river. Glass, river, street, kitchen, all these words are nouns. For you as pronoun. So prepositions are always, in real life situations, they're always used in combination with nouns or noun equivalents. And those nouns or noun equivalents that follow these prepositions, that come after these prepositions, are their objects. And prepositions show the relationship of their own objects with the words that come before these prepositions, that precede them. Even if you don't know, or even if you're not able to describe precisely what kind of relationship is being shown or indicated by a particular preposition, it will not make much difference. The most important thing is that you should be able to recognize basic prepositions. So let's have a couple of examples. In, on, for, from, into, with, without, within, across, to. I hope you know all these words and you already are in a position to recognize them as, to identify them as prepositions. That's all about prepositions. They are used in combination with nouns or noun equivalents. They are called their objects, and they show relationship between their objects and the words that precede them, the prepositions. They are called prepositions. And now, classification of preposition. The first type is simple preposition. They are single word prepositions. Many of the examples I've just quoted, not all of them, many of them were simple prepositions. A few examples are here: at, under, of, to, by. Single word prepositions are called simple prepositions. As compared to the simple prepositions, compound prepositions are slightly different. They are made by adding something before or after the preposition. Now, there is one major difference between compound preposition and compound conjunction. In compound conjunctions, we had a combination of words functioning as a conjunction. In compound preposition, it's once again a single word, but that single word is actually made out of combination of a couple of elements. Let's have examples. Across, a has been added before cross. Within, with and in, a combination of with and in. Without, into, onto, be and side. A and long, a and midst, a and a is added before so many simple prepositions or simple words to turn them into compound prepositions. Be and for, be and hind, be and low, be and neath, be and tween, be and beyond, in and side, out and side, inside, outside, under and neath. So these are compound prepositions. They are themselves single words, but these single words are made by combining two elements. Two words maybe, or two, something is added before or after another word to make it a compound preposition. So let's move on to the next type, and that is phrasal preposition. I've already talked about phrasal prepositions when we were discussing compound conjunctions. Students tend to confuse phrasal prepositions with compound conjunctions, and I've already given you a tip to differentiate. First, let's define phrasal prepositions. They consist of more than one word, larger than one word structures. Combinations of words functioning as prepositions, we'll call them phrasal prepositions. With regard to, with reference to, for the sake of, in place of, instead of, in spite of, because of, along with. Remember the tip? Look at the last word. if the last word in a combination of words about which you are confused whether to call it a compound conjunction or a phrasal preposition, if the last word is a conjunction, then it's a compound conjunction, and if the last word is a preposition, it's a phrasal preposition. Look at the last words of all these word combinations: to, off, off, and with. All these words, to, off, and with, and in, etc., they are all basic simple prepositions. So the tip is very easy and very useful. If you remember it, you'll never get confused between phrasal prepositions and compound conjunctions. And these word combinations behave like single prepositions. They are functioning as single units of meaning. They are larger than one word structures, but their grammatical function in sentences is like a single unit of meaning, and that single unit is preposition. That's why we call them phrasal prepositions. And that's all about prepositions. I hope you have enjoyed and understood the lesson. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.